In 2 days there will be a big fire. What you're looking at here is more or less regular, a little bit upscale, but a more or less regular TLUD, the top lit updraft technique, where you light from the top and as it collapses it gathers the coal. However, this one is done above a pit. I did this a few years ago on a much bigger pit with a fairly successful. The idea is essentially that you get air from both below, the side and above to basically char more wood faster, and also cleans because better combustion, less smoke. So the setup here is essentially the thicker logs you see on the side. They're more to just kind of increase the size of the pit by elevating it a bit, and also to shield against wind and air, so coal that falls through doesn't, or less of it at least, gets converted to ash. And then you have, somewhat punky wood with shrooms on it, some with this fresh, like varying degree, but essentially just building some floors on the first one and the second one above here. You can just adapt, and this is just how I did it. And then as I started getting into the top here, this is where I'm going to start the fire. So I've zigzagged a couple layers to kind of make a floor here. I'll put those thinner branches on top of whatever I'm going to use to light it up, and then I'll just proceed with thicker ones, and then I'll go over for like more wood. Like, I got a ton of wood. I'm probably not going to be able to light it all up before this pit is which is, I guess, something like 1.5 meters and 2.5 to 3 meters the other direction. How deep, it varies a little bit, but I think I had about 600 liters of coal here when it was more or less filled to the rim, so I should be able to get about a cubic on this one without before I ought to consider stopping, because then it's going to be difficult to prevent the coal turning into ash. Now the reason I kind of built it up with these floors in this way is so that by the time things start collapsing down, like before the bigger logs get charred through before everything falls down. I'll probably buck that bigger one and throw it on, but as this lights up, you keep feeding on. Just keep on feeding so it doesn't so it just scavenges all the oxygen and doesn't convert to ash. And then, as the fire gets really big, you just lean on the bigger logs on the side to keep it kind of collapsing inwards and down, and just fill up the pit with coal. It should be more expedient when you have the airflow coming from all direction, and since you are feeding on top all the time, none of the convected heat that is going upwards is wasted. It goes straight into charring even more wood. So on Friday, whether or not I'll use a camera to make a more continuous film, maybe, probably, I don't know, we'll see. But I will be making some clips with the phone, and hopefully it will be a nice fire, and a lot of charcoal. Charry. Aha! And over there, I used to have a bunch of firewood, but then the fire department had a little fun with it, and now I can go and get all that firewood that used to be in there, which is now coal. Hee hee.